Hey guys, so we are going to do a class on making elderberry and seamoss gummies. Seasons are changing, we're trying to keep those immune systems up, and this is something that's simple and easy to do at home. Little effort, no time. So I'm doing some prep work. I'm prepping our elderberry seamoss now so that when we get started with the class, we'll already have it. Okay, so making elderberry syrup. It's a simple process. Start off with dry elderberries. We have some here. Give you guys kind of an idea of what they look like. Our simple elderberry seamoss gummy recipe, I use my elderberry syrup, which I do make, which is a simple recipe. I take 2 cups of elderberries that are dry into a pot of water. I use a gallon of water because it cooks down, it simmers. And when you're done, you'll end up with a large batch that equals back out to a gallon. So for me, that's easiest for me to do because I do can some and I do keep some in the refrigerator.
So will it be syrupy at that point, or is it more water?
It'll cook down until it's watery, but then you'll match the amount that you have that has cooked down with your sweetness. So once it cooks down, you'll end up with about 4 cups, or actually 8 cups. 8 cups of the juice, which will then match it with either 8 cups of honey, if you're not going to can it, or 8 cups of sugar, if you are canning. I do half and half. So once it cooks down to that 8 cups, I divide that in half. I mix 4 cups of the juice with 4 cups of honey, which we'll put that in the refrigerator and consume from that. And then the rest of it, those 4 cups, I mix with 4 cups of sugar. And that's what I can to actually be shelf stable.
Okay. Do you have a, for those who don't have elderberry bushes, do you have a brand to recommend?
Frontier.
Okay.
Frontier.
Okay.
Is a go-to brand. They actually have a company here. I learned about them by working in the food service industry, and those are one of the vendors that we order from.
Okay.
So lots of natural and organic herbs you can get from Frontier. And so guys, we're getting ready to get started. We were just here measuring out our ingredients and prepping everything so that once we get the process going, there's no pause in between because it kind of solidifies pretty quickly. So I tripled the recipe, so it's going to look like a larger batch than what it would when you were doing it at your home. And actually, I tripled the recipe, but the base ingredients are 1 cup of the elderberry infused seamoss gel, half a cup to 1 cup of a liquid. It could be apple juice if you don't like a sweet gummy. It could be what we're using here, which is elderberry syrup, which I've diluted down a bit to a liquid, so just juice. And then 1/4 cup of lemon juice. Did I give a measurement for the elderberry juice or the juice itself?
Yes.
So half a cup to a cup of juice, 1/4 cup of lemon juice, and then we're going to add some cayenne, just a pinch, and some cinnamon, just to help the vitamins absorb into our bodies more. So 1 to 2 teaspoons of the cayenne, 2 teaspoons of the cinnamon. And that's our recipe. And then 1 tablespoon of agar, which will be mixed with the juice to activate it. So that's our base ingredients. Okay. I know I had just turned it back on. I was like, hold up. Gotcha. I was going to say, so this agar powder that we're going to be using is going to be a lot of what's going to give it that jelly type consistency. This powder has to be activated, so to speak, heated for a certain period of time, which is 3 to 4 minutes to give it its properties to kind of activate and power it up. So this is what we'll be mixing with the juice itself on the stove to activate it. Cayenne pepper measured out, and then we will begin the process.
And I'm not bringing some fish.
Yeah, you know, when you give it to kids, you don't want their mouth to be on fire.
Let me go tell Brother Ainsley on them now.
But the cayenne does.
So that's a teaspoon?
Yeah, this is a teaspoon.
Okay.
So we're just going to do 1. Actually, okay, that's about it. Okay. We're just going to do half a teaspoon.
Okay.
That's a lot. We'll we'll do half a teaspoon. Well, your serving size is only 3.
Okay.
And then because we, triple the recipe, 1, 2, 3. And I'll tell you why I did 3. You can do up to 6 if you're tripling the recipe. When I cook the elderberry syrup, I use cinnamon sticks in the elderberry syrup. I also use cloves and cardamom in the elderberry syrup. So those earthy flavors are already present here, so I didn't use as much cinnamon inside of the gel.
But if we don't do that,
if you don't do that part of the process, then
go ahead and
2 teaspoons of cinnamon
up the ante.
per cup of elderberry Seamoss gel.
Okay.
And then we'll add our lemon juice and get this all blended up. Okay, we're gonna take this over to the blender. I'm trying to that.
You gotta try Sis Kim. Sis Kim. Ooh. Sonia. Put your hand.
Taste that kick.
I take the cinnamon though.
Yeah, that's a cinnamon.
Yeah.
But I hit the kick of the cayenne too.
Oh, really?
You have that elderberry syrup that's still sweet, so it's gonna offset some of that.
It's nice, right? Yeah.
Wow. I'm so excited.
Right.
Agar.
And that is 2 tablespoons?
This is 2 because remember we have 3 cups.
Okay, but normally
1 tablespoon
okay.
per cup. But I'll tell you, you may have to tweak that as well, depending on the consistency of your elderberry gel.
Now, what if we add too much agar? What is that going to look like for our gummies?
To be honest with you, you can dilute a little bit more with some more water.
Okay.
But keep in mind, you want to look at that consistency when you're creating window, because once it starts to boil and solidify or gel up, you're going to be going. So you got to be able to gauge that right away. Or your gummies will be just a little bit less when you have to keep them in the refrigerator instead of being able to have it shut down.
Okay.
Yeah, but depending on the consistency of your Seamoss gel, because this is jelly-like anyway.
So how do you keep them shelf stable?
The amount of Seamoss gel that you have and the agar keeps them to where they hold their shape at room temperature.
Okay.
So if you have a looser consistency to begin with, then it's going to have to stay in the refrigerator.
So it don't run. Okay.
We'll just do one more, or just one for good measure. And we're going to get started. We're going to actually put this in the pot with our juice. And we're going to get it stirred up on a medium. So actually I have to transfer it out of this pot. And our goal is to dissolve all of the agar into the juice, the clumps.
Kind of like making gravy or something.
Yes. And then you'll see it start to pick it up and boil, at which point you start to count in 3 minutes.
Once it starts boiling is when you start your 3 minutes.
And you'll see the texture start to change.
And do you have to stir the entire time?
Yes. Because you'll feel the consistency start to change at the bottom.
Okay.
So we're going to get that transferred on over in here.
I was speaking like that till I heard that bobcat.
Did you hear the bobcat?
It was a dirty dishes.
In the same.
Oh, you got to wash them. Don't just put them in the sink. You got to wash them. They nominated you.
They nominated you. That's funny. That's true.
Oh, yeah. It's like a caramel.
Yes.
I know. I can't wait to try it.
Sonia, ask that for Sister Donna.
Caramel.
The bananas were supposed to be for tomorrow.
What all did you put in the mix? What all did you put in?
In here is just elderberry juice and agar. Okay, so you see our boil going on, sis?
Yes.
So now we're going to add our elderberry right here. Okay, guys. Ready? Okay, guys. So as you can see, we have a boil going on with our agar. It has been activated. And so this is the portion and part in which we'll add our elderberry Seamoss gel. Because we do want to expose it to as little heat as possible.
Okay. So it's not going to be in there long?
No. Just come back up to a nice little rolling boil so that when we set them in our molds, it'll solidify and gel up for us. And we just want to make sure we mix it in thoroughly.
Now, if we didn't have the Seamoss gel, would we be able to do it without it?
You can. You would just have to double up on your agar.
Okay.
You got some really good questions.
Yeah, so at this point, we're just trying to make sure we get everything thoroughly mixed in. And then once we see that rolling boil again from the thoroughly mixed mixture, we're able to take it on over to our bowls and let them set. But yeah, this is it. This delicious gummy gooiness that's going to keep our immune system built up this coming fall and winter.
All praises.
Stick with that, we can get that oil at the bottom. And with your whisk in there, you can feel it.
Have you ever burned any?
Not so much burns, but it starts to get translucent. You'll get chunks. I'll say that much. Kind of like if you're making some apple pie filling with cornstarch. The longer you cook it, it's a creamy color, and the longer you cook it becomes like translucent. That's kind of what goes on here. So you'll get those translucent chunks at the bottom. But other than that, it's still edible. It doesn't taste burned or anything like that. It's just all about appearance. A little boiling, and we're going to be in there.
Hey, how you doing?
Okay.
No, sir.
Okay, I think we're good.
Leave her to dry in that third sink.
And we are good. Kaylin, I'm going to come your way.
Are you going to put it in this to like pour it?
Yes.
Okay. Watch out. Can you watch out? Come this way.
Yeah.
Sis, I'm jealous.
You got your dropper? Fill up.
It's so cute. Yeah.
And once you fill, we'll put these in the refrigerator, and what we have left over, we'll put them in the pan, which will be easier to cut very fast.
Now, once you put them in the fridge, how long does it take to do its thing?
It depends, about an hour or so.
Okay, so not long.
Usually come out of the mold. But the longer you set them up, the easier they are.
Now, where do you get your Seamoss from?
So I have a Jamaican market that I actually sell coloring to.
Oh, okay.
And
So it's bartering.
Well, I bookkeep, so
Oh, okay.
they pay me and I pay them back.
Right.
But yeah. You know, most people don't realize a lot of their sea moss is coming out of the Caribbean.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yes.
real deal.
If it's the good stuff.
And since the liquid is hot, squeeze your air first and then put it in, and it'll suck up your juice when you get it. Okay? Here you go. This is all good. Get these filled up, and then I'll come behind you and pour the rest of the pot. might have you in the hospital.
Even if you just have one.
Listen,
So no raw elderberries.
Please no.
No.
Please no.
So it's almost like that duck flower.
Oh no, that's a whole sis.
That's a whole different experience.
Look, you remember you got flashbacks.
Woo, that thing was interesting.
Let's see, like even you can see this gelling up too. And doing it like this, putting it on the pan, we could just, since we have a large quantity of people here, and of course we want everybody to get a chance to taste them, we can cut these into however many we want to. But typically, if you're using the gummy bears as a gauge for serving size, 3 gummy bears will give you what you need. So we'll try to cut them to resemble that size.
Okay, in the fridge they go.
The dishes are done. Awesome.
Well, what Phoenix or Sasha gets with Samson,
Yeah.
for everybody. Talk about that here. Everybody will have something. I'm going to ask you the same if Samson still had his name part. Yes, well, she still got her female part, so that's right.
Who had one?
So
Oh,
yeah, they're finished.
pop one out.
Pops right out.
Thank you.
There they go, guys.
Okay.
Vegan gummies.